Go ahead.
Let's do it. I guess I was ill prepared. So we're gonna move into our Pennsylvania Avenue section of the podcast. I'm gonna pull up the This Week in History. So we're gonna be covering Sunday the 12th. Today's the 20th. Yeah, Sunday the 12th through Saturday the 18th.
History.
Yeah.
Get it, girl.
And okay, there we go. It updated itself.
Oh,
All right.
it says you're in the.
That's because I'm there.
I know, but like it's cool. That's cool. I like the Google Docs we have.
All right. Are you ready?
History, guys.
Are you
You
ready?
need to learn. Let's learn together.
Let's learn what happened in the past. August 12th. I don't know why I put like this year's date on there, but whatever. August 12th, 1781. I put 2018 for each one of these. August 12th, 1781. Robert Mills, the architect of the Washington Monument, located in Washington, D.C., is born.
Located in the Washington Mall. Right.
Did you know? No, it's just like the mall, the
Oh,
National Mall.
never mind.
Nice, good try, though. One interesting really quick. I know we're like, this is super long, but whatever at this
cares,
point.
dude?
All right. I forget the monetary value of it, but at one point, the top of the Washington Monument is actually aluminum. And like when the Washington Monument was built, aluminum was actually like a rare metal because it couldn't. Aluminum today is made not synthetically, but the process is a lot different.
Yeah.
And before it had to be basically like mined purely.
Technology, dog.
But at the time, aluminum was a very valuable metal because it was rare.
What do you make the Captain American shield?
Vibranium.
Vibranium. It was like vibranium,
Yeah,
bro.
basically, yeah. So the very tippy top of the Washington Monument is like an aluminum pyramid on the tip. And that was like this amazing thing that was super rare that they had this much aluminum.
If you want to see a close-up of the Washington Monument,
Watch
go watch Spider-Man Homecoming.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right. Speaking of precious metals, 1896, gold is discovered near Dawson City in the Yukon Territory in Canada. Sparking, obviously, another gold rush. August 12th, 1908, Henry Ford's first Model T rolls off the assembly line. August 12th, 1935.
Also, the Dodge brothers worked on that. Whatever.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Okay. 1935, Franklin Delano Roosevelt signs the Social Security Bill.
Thank you.
1961, construction on the Berlin Wall begins, separating, obviously, East and West Berlin. And in, like, really when the Cold War started to get going, for real.
For realsies.
August 12th, 1981, IBM introduced their first personal computer. And August 12th, 1992, the North American Free Trade Agreement, otherwise known as NAFTA, was signed, creating the world's wealthiest trading bloc between the United States, Mexico, and Canada.
Clinton would have been president by then, right?
Yes.
He would have got inaugurated.
He would have been inaugurated in 93.
Yeah. So it was
Bush. I think that's right.
You son of a... You guys lied to it. No, it's not.
I think that's right.
Everyone keeps on saying it's Clinton.
Because
Bush, that race was in 92.
W. Bush was elected in the 2000 election.
Yeah, I'm talking about...
So he would have been inaugurated in 2001, which means Clinton would have been inaugurated in 93 because it had to be 8 years difference.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Math. Quick math. August 13th, only a couple really interesting things, at least in my opinion. August 13th, 1889. I'm sorry if I skipped something that you deem really important. The first coin-operated telephone is patented by William Gray. In case you didn't know, there are still some places, these things where you put money in and you get to make a phone call for a certain period of time.
I always like watching older movies with my nieces and nephews, and I watched one with Anthony and Alina one time when I was watching them, and we watched, I forgot what it was, and they had a telephone where the guy picked up like an old what do you call them?
Payphone?
Yeah, payphone. There you go.
Oh.
Jesus, because I don't use that term anymore. No one uses it. But like, and he was like, "What was that?" It was like, I told him straight up, it's a cell phone that's in the ground that you can only use right there. He's like,
you can't take it with you.
What? Yeah, he went mad. I don't know. It's funny.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's even now. It's one of those things you see one, you're like, oh. I think really probably the only places I think they're still in airports Because there's like a wall that has like a line of telephones.
Well, that
that
makes
you can
sense
use.
though. That one makes sense. There, just in case like because like a lot of people's phones get lost or stolen.
Yeah.
I had a show up in Southgate, and it was like in this industrial area, and like it had like this little mom and pop shop, and like there's a phone right there, and I was like, but it didn't work.
Oh, dust. All right. August 13th, 1898, Manila, the capital of the Philippines, is captured by the U.S. Army. This would have been during the Spanish-American War.
Yeah, because I think we brought it up 2 weeks ago, I think, or 3 weeks ago about the Spanish-American War breaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
August 14th, 1457. I put this in here just because I thought it was really funny. The first book ever printed is published, and the author was thrown in prison in Paris for dealing with the devil because the authorities did not know how he got his hands on more than one copy, like so many copies of the same book.
Yeah, because back then it took
It was like hand copied.
so much time.
Yeah.
I listened to Ties of History, and they talk about the printing press and how evolutionary it was. The printing press back then is like us and smartphones, basically.
Probably at least. Yeah.
Like that kind of like how quick it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how it impacted everything.
August 14th, 1945. Big time jump here.
Oh, one more thing. Also, literacy went up by a lot.
Oh, yeah,
as
for
well.
sure. For sure. Yeah.
Not for
August
me, though.
14th, 1945. Japan announces unconditional surrender, ending World War II.
Yeah, last week like we said both
the bombs,
Nagasaki and Hiroshima bombs got dropped, and then we went over that. We had a little discussion. We don't need to have one for this one because we already talked about it. Go listen to the last podcast in history if you want for that.
So that took place on the deck of the USS Missouri. One of the things that I've always liked about, I don't know, have you ever been to Pearl Harbor?
I've not been to Pearl Harbor.
Okay, well, one of the interesting things that's there, at least from my point of view, is that like the Arizona is there, sunk in the harbor, obviously, like, and that's kind of a embodiment of the war beginning, and then docked in Pearl Harbor is the USS Missouri, where like the treaties were signed, like ending World War II. So it's like the beginning and the end of World War II are both like right there.
Yeah, it was MacArthur, and I forgot the Japanese guy that was there, right? The general, I forgot his name.
Tojo? One of those? I forget.
They always had
I don't
those
remember.
entertaining names for their generals.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
August. Wait, did I skip one? I did.
No.
Yeah, I did. August 14th, 1947. Pakistan gained its independence.
No, we didn't do that one yet. But yeah, go ahead. 15th.
Well, I was about to jump to the 15th. That's why I said, okay, whatever. August 15th. 1261. Constantinople falls to Michael the Eighth of, is it Nicaea or Nicaea? I wasn't actually too familiar with this one. I'm
think
assuming
it's
that this is
Nicaea.
the end of the Eastern Roman Empire.
I think this is this is when the Ottomans.
Yeah.
No, this is too early for Ottomans.
Is it? I don't know. The Ottoman Empire was around for a while.
It was around for a while, but I feel like it was like more of the, because the Byzantines went pretty far into the Middle Ages.
Okay. Fair
So this must have been like
I should have looked this one up.
because like there's definitely been barbarian tribes that have taken over. So maybe that's like a related barbarian tribe. I don't know.
Not sure.
Because
Should have done my research.
there's also Roman like generals that took over all the time. Like they're like
All
like you saw in like Gladiator how like he had the army there, and if he wanted to, you could have taken over
Yeah,
Rome. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of those situations happen.
August 15th, 1769. Napoleon Bonaparte is born. Thank you
Interesting.
for selling us a third of our country.
Bonaparte was his last name was Bonaparte because
Interesting.
he was
Because he was
From
born
Corsica.
apart. No, I'm just kidding.
no because he was obviously born in Corsica. Corsica was a territory that was belonging to the Italians for a long time. So it's like he didn't change his name until he got married the first time. So
Interesting.
because his dad Carlo Bonaparte, and then he was really close, and then that's how it's a long story for Napoleon, but yeah, that was his original name or original
Okay.
last name.
Pronunciation, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
August 15th, 1914, the Panama Canal opens to traffic. Probably underrated as a important thing is the Panama Canal, like saving people a bunch of time, not having to sail all the way around South America.
I would even say as like a modern wonder, like up there.
Sure.
For this 20th century at least.
Yeah. August 15th, 1947, Britain grants independence to India.
Good job, Gandhi.
Yeah, I
Shout
guess
out
so.
to Gandhi.
The sun truly did set on the British Empire after that day. August 16th is pretty boring, turns out, so I completely skipped it.
I could probably find a birthday.
Good luck with that. August 17th. I guess we'll circle back around if you find anything interesting. August 17th, 1786, Davy Crockett is born. Famous frontiersman, was killed at the Alamo.
Yes.
All right, you found something for August 16th.
Elvis Presley was pronounced dead at Memphis Baptist Hospital at
Yikes.
3:30 at age 42. There's a couple other battles.
I always thought he was younger than that when he died.
No, 42 is
Interesting.
somewhat young-ish. He fought in the Korean War. He got drafted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for Korean War. Yeah.
August 17th, 1945, Indonesia declares independence following confirmation of Japan's surrender.
Oh, also one thing about David Crockett, he served under Andrew Jackson. But go ahead, sorry.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
during the War of 1812, he must have been like a really, really young. For all.
Well, he would have been like almost 30. So.
Oh wait, yeah, never mind. 1786. Yeah, he served under. Yeah, for sure. He was like a lieutenant.
Oh, cool. I did not know that. Was he at the Battle of New Orleans? Like,
I have to double check that, but he might have been. Yeah, because he talked about he had a report on Andrew Jackson's like martial law and like how it was out of line. And whatnot.
dang.
Yeah.
So yeah, 1945.
American Lion. Yeah.
Indonesia declaring independence, getting out from, obviously once Japan surrendered, they were like, didn't have anyone oppressing them anymore, I guess is the right word.
Yeah, it seems a lot of territories from Europeans and just Japan in general, like that took over territories in like Southeast Asia were given up. I think besides like the Vietnam Peninsula, whatever peninsula that is.
Yeah. August 17th, 1960, Francis Gary Powers pleads guilty to espionage in Moscow. Francis Gary Powers, if I remember correctly, is the man who was shot down flying a U-2 over the Soviet Union.
I think he was tried for espionage.
Well, yeah, he was taking pictures of the Soviet Union with his plane.
I get. Okay. Well, espionage for me is like someone that's actually in there, but not like.
What else are they going to charge him with? Flying?
I know, but I meant like it just
to the gulag, you pilot. He's
No.
a pilot. Send him to the gulag.
No, like it's just weird because I feel like when I think of what someone doing is espionage, it's like actually there, not there for like.
He was spying on them with his plane.
I know, but like it feels weird. I don't know.
All right, well, whatever.
Sorry.
He got shot down.
Isn't that like a Call of Duty mission in like Call of Duty Black Ops?
You do take pictures with
Yeah.
like a I think that's a SR-71 though, which came after the U-2.
It's a transformer.
Yeah, it's a Decepticon. August 18th, our final day for this week. 1587. Eleanor and I practiced this before we started. Ananias, I believe is what we came up with.
Ananias.
Ananias Dare.
That is a male name.
Yeah, apparently.
Or maybe Eleanor is the.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I'm honestly not really sure. Eleanor and Ananias Dare, residents of
Da.
no, it's kidding. Of the Roanoke. They were residents of the Roanoke colony. They became parents to the first child, at least recorded, to have been born in the New World in America, Virginia Dare. Just kind of an interesting little historical
The next
tidbit.
point is not very good for
3 years later, after returning home from a trip to England, John White, the leader of said Roanoke colony, returns to find the colony deserted with no trace of the settlers ever found. Probably one of the bigger mysteries and conspiracy things in that time period.
I feel like a lot of those colonial groups or whatever you want to call them, like they came up, there's a lot of them that like weren't recorded and also like went missing. So there's a lot of like unmarked graves all over the place.
Probably
on the East Coast.
Yeah. I don't know. We might not ever know what happened there. I think if I remember correctly, there's stories of like there was like something written on like a tree stump or something like that. But that was like really about it. And they think that like maybe they were like captured or killed by Native Americans.
Yeah, well, I would think like maybe even like it would be cool like that Virginia Dare like grew up in that native tribe or something like that, and like no one knew.
George Washington's great grandmother, and no one ever knew.
Yeah.
America.
America.
August 18th, 1914, Germany declares war on Russia following an announcement by President Woodrow Wilson declaring the United States neutrality in World War One. That didn't last too long. That
What,
neutrality.
3 years?
Yeah. 2.5, 3 years.
Thanks, Francis Ferdinand.
August 18th, 1920, Tennessee becomes the 36th state to ratify the 19th Amendment, meeting that 3/4 threshold for passing new amendments under the Constitution, and that gives women the right to vote.
I think one of the stupidest jokes out there, but like I don't know why I laugh at it because it's so bad. It was like a joke back in high school where someone said like,
I know where this is going.
you know what I'm saying though,
I
right?
think so.
Yeah, like that joke.
Want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
Women's rights.
Yeah, that's so bad. But like, I'm like, why is this so like? I don't know why in my head like I laugh at it. It's like, this is like the most messed up thing though. Like one of the most.
It's
messed
up there for sure.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Last but not least, well, actually maybe least, some of these are actually kind of big historical things. August 18th, 1939, a little known film titled The Wizard of Oz debuts in New York City.
Oh, what a nice way to put that.
And
out.
they followed the Yellow Brick Road all the way into American popular culture.
Yeah, still like one of the most. I would say probably one of the most watched movies of all time.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Also, like the quality of that movie stands up, and like I hate that is.
Have you ever watched it in black and white?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. So I'm sure that there are very many people alive that have
Yeah.
never seen that movie in black and white.
Yeah, because like they didn't. It was
How
years.
do you know the road is yellow?
It was weird. It was years later when they actually put it in color. It wasn't
Yeah,
like it was like way.
I feel like it was in our lifetime that they put it in
Yeah.
color. That
I
they
remember-
colorized it.
I hated watching like there was like a thing of like the Three Stooges in color, and I was like, this
Why?
doesn't feel right. It felt terrible. Like it didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That was,
there you
that
go.
was- that
Wizard of
wasn't
Oz.
good. Yeah.
1939.
Well, that was our week in history. Jacob read it this time because he reads better than me. And like I guess you just wanted to do it. That's fine.
Well, you
Okay.
were looking something else up, so I just pulled it up.
Okay, that's fine. But regardless, it's our week in history. Let us know. There's stuff on the 16th that we did miss, but it's okay. Let us know.
No,
Look
the
some stuff up.
There's nothing on the 16th. I missed nothing.
Look up other stuff on the 16th and let us know what we missed.
Nothing.